Hey there, Dr. Steve here. I am so excited about this video. We want to showcase for you the stories of patriots all across the world who are rising up and fighting for faith, family, and freedom. And we had the honor to sit down with one of those patriots at our recent New Conservative Patriot Live event just a couple of weeks back. And we're going to give you a bit of a sneak peek into that exclusive event. I had the honor of speaking with Andy Walker, a former construction worker who's currently running for Borough Council in New Holland, Pennsylvania. And he has quite the backstory that's going to absolutely inspire you and give you the hope you need to realize that anyone who's concerned about these crazy cultural Marxist times can indeed make an impact beyond anything they ever dreamed. So enjoy meeting Andy and enjoy the renewed hope that he brings. God bless.
But this is something very, very powerful. And I think there's so much that we can be doing in our lives, even beyond just, starting a business, educating, thinking, all these things. We have a lot to live for, but also it's taking action in our community. And what does it actually look? This question, what do I do? Well, I want to introduce you to Andy Walker. Andy, come on video yourself or video yourself. There he is.
Hey, guys.
There he is. So you got the beard. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh,
he's showing us all up, man.
So Andy, welcome. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Everybody say hi to Andy in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thank
Who
you.
likes
Dr.
Andy's beard?
for
Whose beard is better? No, don't answer that question. Steve's got that gray though.
I like Dr. Steve. I don't know. I don't have that yet.
I don't have the gray yet. Or you're in your 20s, you young and you.
Oh, no, not anymore.
He's 33, Steve. I missed.
All right. Getting up there.
I thought he was 25, and I don't know where I got that from, but he's 33.
I'll take it.
Andy, you're running for Borough Council in New Holland, Pennsylvania, correct?
Correct. Yes, I am.
You have quite the backstory. Thanks so much for being being with us. Give us your backstory for how you ended up running for office, becoming a political influencer here. A lot of people have been talking about how do I become a community influencer? How do I become a local influencer? You've chosen political influence. What are the precursors that led up to that?
Well, just everything that was going on with the election with Trump. Before election, I was looking around in the nation, even the world, and seeing these convoys going on. And like you guys said, I live in a small town, so we don't get a lot of that here. And I'm just a patriot, and I love seeing those convoys going on, those rallies, and I'm like, why not start one here? So I started small, once a month, maybe 10, 20 of us would get together. I'd drive us around town, drive us around Lancaster County. Got bigger. It started doing every Saturday, and then it got bigger every Saturday and Sunday. So it's snowball effect, and people were loving it, engaging in it. So, and closer to election time, things started going on with our government here in PA. So I decided, you know what, we got to set some rallies up at the Capitol building, set some protests up in front of some people's houses. So I've done Governor Wolf's house twice, did Brian Cutler's house 3 times. The following just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I just kept hearing, why don't you run for office? Why don't you have the spirit, the charisma, you're obviously a true patriot. And growing up, I was never in politics. I was never involved, never wanted to be. It was just, I was a normal, just blue collar worker, just give me my paycheck and I'll be on with my day. But what's been going on, what I've seen in America, throughout the world, something had to change, and some patriots have to stand up, not these career politicians. They have to go. We as patriots need to stand up, start taking our offices back, our Congress, but it starts in the local aspect. And man, oh man, have I uncovered open a can of worms, let's say.
Hornet's nest, right? Andy, real quick, just because I know something there. tell me about the Democrat you're running against, or the Democrats you're trying to unseat. Tell me about a little about New Holland and all these Democrats you're going against.
That's the funny part is they're not Democrats. They're Republicans.
What?
They're all Republican. Same part. And they're for some reason, as soon as I got on the ballot, man, they just did not want it, and they did not want their little good old boy club, their circle broken up. Some of them been on since 2006, unran against. So somebody like me that they know my history and my past of stepping up and not being quiet, not being pushed around. I'm not going to be bullied by them. So I'm going to let the public and the community know what's going on every step of the way, and I have been. And it has been a fight here in New Holland.
Somebody just think right versus wrong, not Democrat versus Republican. It's one of the themes of our channel, Andy, as you know, is we have seen, scholars have noticed over the last decade, since the Tea Party movement in particular, a new political animosity rising. And it's not so much right versus left or Republican versus Democrat. It's the people versus the political class, right?
Exactly.
It's the ruled versus the rulers. Is that what you're seeing in your political experience here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, they're Republican. I'm Republican. But it's good versus evil, right?
Yeah, it's like you're in two different parties at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they don't want their secrets to be told, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
why
it's
would
really
why would
silly.
that be the case? Politicians?
No, they don't have those.
What do you got, Ralph? Did you have one?
No, it's silly too. I don't want to get too into weeds here, but one of the things he showed me the other day that caused me to invite him on this is he was reading a letter he got from the borough clerk telling him that he can't do a caravan through town to town. You got the letter without and Andy, you can correct me if I got this wrong, but without him applying and showing them the liability insurance in each town he's going to take the car through on the road on a caravan. Like imagine,
Okay.
like you can't drive, like you can't have. It's beyond me. Like, does a
Did
funeral do
Forrest
that when they
Gump-
burn?
Did Forrest Gump have to do that when he was running through the towns?
Yeah, so he's getting all, and he can't show up in the town's park and have a rally there without all this permit stuff, and they're just bureaucrating him to death. It's just insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that
And
the-
again, the convoys I've been doing since last August 2020, and I've done it about 25 times. Same route, same municipality, same boroughs. Not one complaint ever until now that I'm on the ballot. And and I've already talked to the other police officers in the other boroughs. We're good to go. They love it. They want us to keep doing it. So guess who's not stopping?
That's right. I'm
Awesome.
putting his Facebook page for his campaign in here, and you guys can all follow him here and support him, encourage him. Even though you can't vote for him because it's local thing, you can support him, and it means a lot when people even locally see thousands of us pour in and support him. So please,
Are you running against someone, Andy? Is there a primary process, or are you unopposed? How's it working?
Yeah, there's 6 of us running for 4 seats. Primary vote is May 18th. So I've been campaigning. I think I probably have the most yard signs around town, out and about, different businesses, everybody at their residence. So yeah.
Andy, I just want to make sure we're clear here. You're like, you have like a degree in political science from UPenn or Ivy League school. Like, tell me a little about your elite education so you're prepared
Because those are the
town
only
council.
people who are allowed to vote for or run for office, of course, our political class now.
Where do you, and you must work in like some real high affluent like hedge fund or something. What tell us a little about your employment and your education background?
Well, just 12 years in the good old high school. That's it. High school diploma. True patriot. That's all it takes. I'm a blue collar worker. Like I said, I've done masonry, all kinds of construction work. I assemble mobile homes right now. So full time, 50, 60 hours a week. That's it. That's all it takes, though, is a heart and patriotism. That's
Well, you
all it
must
takes.
be. You're going to get a big paycheck for doing this, right? Like that's why.
Don't get paid.
No. Oh, okay. So why? What's the point? Why are you doing this?
And to get my country back, to keep our constitutional rights, to keep God in this country. That is very important to me.
What was the specific thing that you learned? Just being real practical, because there's tons of people all over the country, even world, on this meeting right now. What were the couple things that you're like, oh, I can do this? Like where someone says you just fill out this form and you can apply for office, and like where was it like the thing that really? I know people were talking to you, but when was it like, all right, I'm going to do this? Like to explain that thought process and what you were going through to really make that decision. When was that moment?
To be honest, I don't know when that moment was. It was pretty much, I guess, after this whole election ordeal, the fraud, I will say, and seeing that nobody, even our local politicians, our local reps, nobody was standing up for us. Nobody was fighting back against this. And it just clicked. You know what? Somebody needs to fight for we the people. And it's by the people, correct? So you know what? Why not have somebody like me get in there? And it was then I realized how simple it was filling out the application, and here I am, got on the ballot.
I've got a question.
Go for it.
I see some questions in here about this, and in our Insiders Club, we get this question a lot, but there's a great concern that it's just so bad. The establishment is so terrible that patriots can't do anything. What do you say to people who are so concerned that they want to run for office, but they feel like it's just, they never would have a chance?
Again, it takes a fight. It's going to be a struggle. It's not going to happen overnight. But I have a saying right here that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Well, you know what? We are in one of the biggest storms, if not the biggest storm in America. And we can't wait for Trump to step up. We can't wait for one person to step up. It takes all of us patriots to step up, and we have to learn to dance in the rain. It is pouring out right now, and we have to dance. We have to go and get those seats back, and we have to stand up for our rights.
Andy, on one of your Facebook interviews you just did the other day, you said something that was so. I told Steve this, and I go, Steve, gotta have this guy on. And one of the things that you said was the reason you need to run locally, and people all around the country need to be doing this, is because of the where the swamp creatures come from that get to DC. Can you just comment on what you were saying there and that connection?
Yeah, well, it's like I've said for the past couple of months. This local government, the borough councils, the mayors, that's the breeding ground of DC. The swamp monsters. It's literally the breeding ground. This is where they start, and then they climb up the ladder. And once they're in DC, then it's too late for us. But this is how we stop them, right here in your local communities. Another saying that I've said, and I guess we're making T-shirts with it now, is you can't kill a weed by pulling off the top of it. You have to go to the root and pull it. And so your local community, your borough council, that's the root of the problem. And you got to get in there. If you can't get in there, then you're not stopping them. You don't just pull the top off, you get to the root.
So true.
I love it. So what advice would you give to others who might be interested in doing what you're doing and becoming a political influencer?
Start talking to your community. Get involved. Go to your borough council meetings. Get to know them, especially. Do your research on them, who you might be running against. But the main thing is talk to your community, get out there, boots on the ground. You can't do anything behind a screen, staying behind your keyboard. You have to be involved and get involved with them face to face. That's the main important thing.
Yep.
Awesome.
And believe that you can do it. Absolutely. That is the main thing. Courage.
And Andy, do you feel like you're alone in this process? Like I mean, is it just you running and no one else is supporting you? Tell me about this, what's going on with that.
I'm telling you what, it puts a huge smile on my face. Like, every day I can't believe it's overwhelming. Like, I mean, just starting again as doing convoys just to bring patriotism back into the community and to be here where I'm at now is, I mean, and just the interview that I did the other night afterwards, just alone from that, the community was just messaging me every minute. It was just one after another. People I've never even heard of in New Holland just, hey, it is time that we make a stand. It's time that these guys need to go, and they're just opening up now, and the light has shown, and it's amazing. God is working. I just don't know. It's speechless, man. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy, for coming on here. We'll be following you and supporting you.
And do we put Andy's information so people can support him?
I was going to ask, we put the Facebook page, but do you have a website or an email as well?
I do have an email. That is the Facebook, but it's andywalkerforoffice@gmail.com.
Awesome.
One more time, because you broke up there a little bit.
I'm putting it
Andy Walker for office@gmail.com.
Perfect. Well,
Awesome.
we're behind you, Andy, and we're so proud of you, and
Thank you.
such an inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much for coming.
You are.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Dr. Steve.
You bet. Thank you, Andy. Thank you.